Very good afternoon to one and all. Today I am going to explain model number 2. In this lecture, I introduce the concept of multiple access technology, that is last nothing but one is orthogonal frequency division multiple access. In lecture number 15, we discuss about the space spectrum multiple access technology and also space division multiple access technology. In this lecture, we introduce the basic concept of orthogonal frequency division multiple access and how it will be useful for transmit the data in very high speed in 4th generation and 5th generation. So let us start. The outline of the session: background of the multiple access methods, then orthogonal frequency division multiplexing based on multiple access, then orthogonality principle and OFDMA, and orthogonal frequency division multiple access, advantages and disadvantages of OFDMA, and conclusions. So first we introduce multiple access. In general wireless cellular system, multiple user systems are required. In day-to-day life, the number of mobile users are increasing. In 21st century, the mobile users are in the millions of digits. So radio resources are very limited bandwidth, limited number of channels. So we use the concept of multiple access technology. The radio resource must be shared among the multiple users. Multiple access control needed the contention based or non-contention based. Contention based, each terminal transmitted in a decentralized way. No central controller, means base station or access point. For example, Aloha or carrier sensing multiple access. Then examples of this type of will be used, that is GSM, Global System for Mobile Communication, uses slotted Aloha terminal initial to access the protocols. IEEE 802.1 uses carrier sense multiple access collision avoidance based on a contention access scheme. Then non-contention based multiple access technology. In logical controller, base station or access point is needed to coordinate the transmission of all the terminals. The controller informs each device when on which the channel is transmitted the data. The collision can be avoided entirely in two subdivisions: non-channelization and channelization. So, in non-channelization and non-contention based multiple access technology, the terminal transmitted sequentially same channel. For example, it used the polling based median access. The examples of this standard, that is IEEE 802.15, that is wireless person area network, and IEEE 802.11, that is wireless local area networks. Then channelization, non-contention methods. The terminal transmit the simultaneously using different channels. Most commonly used protocols in cellular system. Examples of multiple access technology which use on channelization method, that is time division multiple access, code division multiple access, and most popular in analog, that is frequency division multiple access. The standard which will be used, these three examples: GSM, IS-95 and AMPS. Time division multiple access. We take an example of GSM frame structure. The time slot for each 0.577 millisecond. We can see here one frame, it consists of 8 time slot per frame. The frame duration of complete frame for 8 time is 4.6 millisecond. If you multiply 0.557 millisecond into 8, we get this frame period. The frequency band is 20 kilohertz, which will be used. Then code division multiple access example is IS95. The Walsh code will be used, that is pseudo noise code is a type of this. The 64 codes for channels will be used. One binary channel is required and 7 paging channels are required. 55 traffic channels contains and each carrier of 125 MHz bandwidth. So we can see the structure of IS95 or code division multiple access technology. Then frequency division multiple access, which mostly used in American mobile phone system. The total bandwidth is 25 MHz. Each channel is occupied a 30 kHz bandwidth. So we can see here the user 1 use a 30 kHz channel 1. Here the guide bands are necessary. So in this multiple access technologies, basically CDMA, FDMA and TDMA, we require some guard bands to avoid the intermixing the data. Then orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, OFDM based multiple access technology, orthogonality principle in this lecture we have explained. Then OFDM also define what is meant by orthogonal frequency division multiple access in terms of frequency division multiple access. So the orthogonality means they are independent each other. They are 90 degrees of each other. So when these two channels are orthogonal in space, then where there is a dot product is 0. Or we can say in terms of modulo a plus b plus c bracket complete into a modulo 2, we get this type of equations. And here orthogonality means there is a independent of each other. So orthogonality principles we define in terms of frequency space. F is equal to a sin omega 2 and b is equal to b cos omega 2, and there is a phase shift between is 90 degree. So we can, if we take an integration between these two waveforms, we get a 0. So similarly for these in cosine forms or cos form, m and n, these are the harmonics which will be seen. So if you observe the phase difference between these two waves are 90 degree, there is a positive and negative area will be cancelled each other. So orthogonality principle we have seen here the time period over which where m is not equal to n, where mnw and nnw is called mth and nth harmonics of respective sine wave. So it is a special kind of frequency division multiple access. The spacing between carrier in such a way that they are orthogonal to each other. Therefore, no need of the guard band between the carriers. So one of the biggest advantage of this OFDMA, there is a no need of guard band between the carriers. One of the example means think there is a clear. So let's having the information bits, these are the, and just convert in the serial to parallel bits. So we can convert. This is an example how to OFDM technology will be used. So there is a generation of individual bits. Then examples in the form of waveforms. We can, if you observe the modulating signal for carrier 1, carrier 2, carrier 3, carrier 4 according to the data. So if you observe there is a phase shift in 90 degree, means they are orthogonal to each other. So there is no need of the guard bands between the two waves or two channels. So this is the final example of waveforms. If you generate the signal, so we can generate a waveform and we get the observe the various waveforms C1, C2, C3 and C4, various carrier waveforms. So each terminal occupies a subset of subcarriers. The subset is called orthogonal frequency division multiple access traffic channels. So user 1, user 2, user 3. If you observe each traffic channel assigned exclusively one user at a time. So IEEE 802.16e, that is WiMAX, use the OFDMA as a multiple access technique. The bandwidth options are available for 1.25 MHz, 5 MHz, 10 MHz and 20 MHz. Entire bandwidth is divided into number of channels or subcarriers 128, 512, 1024 and 2028. The 20 MHz bandwidth with 2400 subcarriers has 90.8 kHz spacing between the subcarriers. So this is a transmitter and receiver structure for orthogonal frequency division multiple access. Serial to parallel converter, IFT, then add a cyclic prefix, then remove the cyclic prefix, then FFT and parallel to serial converter. So what are the advantages of OFDM? So multi-user diversity, broadband signal experience frequency selective fading. OFDM allows the different user to transmit over a different portion of the broadband spectrum. So large number of users can simultaneously receive the data, that is nothing in the multi-user diversity. Different users perceptive, different channels qualities deep faded in channel into one of many still variable others. So what of the first advantage is multi-user can be access the data by using OFDM. So if you observe the advantage of the in terms of multi-user diversity, so each carrier wave carried independent data and there is a phase shift between is 90 degrees, means they are orthogonal to each other. So there is a no need between the guard bands. So this is the spectrum which will be C. The efficient use of the spectrum. So how many number of symbols will be transmitted per hertz, that is without OFDM 4/3 symbols transmitted per frequency. Here the number of symbols transmitted is 6/1. So rate of transmission of the symbol is more than the non-orthogonal. So there is an efficient use of the spectrum bandwidth. Receiver simplicity. It eliminates the intra-cell interface, avoiding the code division multiple access type of multi-user detection. Orthogonality of code destroy the selective fading. Only FFT processor is required and bit error rate performance is better than the only fading environment. In CDMA, we required the frequency selective fading is very required at the time of receiver, but due to the OFDMA, so receiver is very simpler and only FFT processor is required. So if you observe the peak average power ratio, so that is the ratio of signal power, square of the signal power divided by average power of the signal. So we get the peak average power ratio. So the large amplitude variation increase in band on noise increases the bit error rate when the signal has go to the through amplifier non-linearities. So if you observe the graphical peak average power ratio, it will be seen here. Then disadvantage of the OFDM synchronization. The type synchronization between the users and required FFT in the receiver. Pilot signals use the signal for the synchronization purpose. Then second one is a disadvantage of OFDM, that is co-channel interference. The co-channel interference is one of the when two same frequency are intermixed, that time the interference will be occur. It is dealing with the when is more complex in OFDM than the CDMA. The dynamic channel allocation with advanced coordination among the adjacent to the base station. That time the co-channel interference will be happen. Then future works where it will be used. The peak to average power ratio is one of the drawback. How to reduce? That can be by using OFDM. Timing frequency synchronization, there is also in future work. Then efficient digital signal processing implementation of OFDM. then multiple input, multiple output, that is MIMO, which is used on most research work in 5th generation or 6th generation, and different variation of OFDMA are proposed and have different proposal and conclusion. So in this lecture we are discuss about the basic OFDMA structure, then advantage, disadvantage, and mostly the future related scopes on the OFDMA technology. So we can stop here. Thank you.